$2,000 accident
Well,
and sold it for twice what he paid for it and used it the whole time.
we're all right.
But the thing was, he was building his house.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't build up any stairs until he was about done. Everybody's running up and down the ladders.
You can't get a certificate of occupancy. Ways in and out of it. So they give me a fit.
I wanna, you like stickers?
You gotta have these as stairs.
Yeah.
They wanna.
What'd you say?
We're gonna call the February 13th, 2024 city council meeting to order. And Ms. Lander, would you mind leading us in prayer? Thank you.
Father, we thank you today for this beautiful day that we've had to enjoy. Thank you for your love and watch care and provision and protection over us. I pray that you would be with us now as we deliberate things that affect the citizens of this city. Help us to choose wisely, Lord. Help us to look at all options and to try to serve the majority. In Christ's name I pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilmember Brian,
Here.
Councilmember Hampton, Councilmember Woodfall, Vice Mayor Landry,
Here,
Mayor Ketchering.
Here. Approval of items on the consent agenda. Oh, sorry. Have a motion, have a second.
second,
Roll call, please. I'm sorry.
Councilmember Brian,
Yes.
Councilmember, I'm sorry, Vice Mayor Landry.
here, oh, yes.
Mayor Ketchering.
Yes. Okay, receiving requests from the general public. Any person wishing to address the council regarding non-agenda items will be given 5 minutes. Whereas groups or delegations will be given 10 minutes for discussion. Anyone from the general public would like to speak at this time? Here, no one. Item number 5, bids. Do we have any bids open? All right. Number 6, general business. 6A is gonna be continued. Agenda item 6B. Council to consider waiving alcohol permit fee for Big Bend Brew Fest, which is being held at Rosehead Park on March 18th, 2024, and take any actions deemed necessary.
Number 16.
I hope it's 16th, that's what the flyer says.
Oh.
We got 18th on the agenda.
We mess up.
Okay, I got 16. Correction.
So that's a $250 fee that traditionally you folks waive because the funds are shared with Shop at the Top and Special Olympics. And then it's their scholarship fund.
You have a motion or any discussion?
Let me say this, I'll make the motion. This was enacted with ordinance number 542, which allows an event. And this was in 2015. We're not talking about whether or not they should have the event. All we're talking about is $250. And, we've waived it in the past, and I will motion, we waive it again.
Motion, do we have a second?
Yeah.
I'll pass the gavel and second the motion.
Councilmember Braun,
Yes,
Vice Mayor Landry,
No,
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Okay, agenda item 6C, resolution 2024-02. A resolution of the city council amending the budget of the city of Perry, Florida for fiscal year October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2024.
Okay, there's, 3 items on there that, the budget amendments for, additional funding in the general fund, parks and wastewater, and, 36,000 for the 2 part-time fire people you approved, said, let's go ahead and do this. And then and that's gonna be funded by gas revenues. Since they've already eaten so much already into the year on their overtime, they're gonna need still a little bit more overtime what's left in there. So we're funding that completely out of gas revenues. And then the parks exercise equipment at Lothridge, 20,000, and wastewater for that jetter, the 2/3, our portion of the USDA grants, only 1/3, and that's $228,000. And both of those are from ARPA funds.
this is not, what was discussed.
not one.
This, I'm talking about just the firefighter portion of it.
Okay,
We're adding people here. What we discussed was transferring, if you want to call it, transfer it from salaries to overtime, which does not cause for a budget increase.
But it's not there.
Huh?
The money wasn't there.
The money is there. If I've got someone that I'm paying a salary to, and I'm paying them overtime, my overtime is going up, but my salary is remaining constant. And you transfer from salary to overtime.
I think there's only about 10 grand left in overtime.
I hadn't say a word about overtime,
Okay.
Penny.
Okay.
You've got your mind made up about something and you're not listening.
I don't think you need a budget amendment at all.
Pardon?
I don't think you need a budget amendment at all for the firefighter part.
Not really, not the firefighter part, because it's already there. It's just in a salary line item.
Strike the 36,000.
Yeah. We always talk about a position. We're really talking about FTEs, equivalents. So we're not increasing the FTEs because it's already. So with that change, I will make a motion to adopt.
second,
Councilmember Braun.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
yes,
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6D, resolution 2024-03. The policy of the city council of the city of Perry, Florida, in reference disposal of surplus lands and providing for an effective date.
Is this, John, is this just to change from regular to first class, or is?
That's all I'm asking to start with. That's what this amendment is for, or resolution is for. But also wanted y'all to consider put some language in here, how we actually do the sale of the land when it comes down to it.
if you go to, you got it right there, A, sold to private person or entity at no less than the value assessed by the property appraiser. It could be more. The way to really do that is with an appraisal, but some of these things, the appraisal will cost more than the value of the property.
The one we're talking about, that was something like out, the appraised value like $700.
Yeah.
They're gonna spend more in
Right.
surveys and all that.
All your services are gonna cost two,
Go
3
down
times
to
as
number
much.
3. Just a question that eventually someday will come up. How you divide it, two parties, then the city may, but is not required to evenly divide said parcel between the two. That's
That's what I think we can get it. I didn't like the language of that. Because that's what's gonna happen. It's two, there's a parcel split down the middle of two. They're both interested in it. One guy's gonna come in and say, I'll give you $700 for it. The other guy says, I'll take the whole thing for $2,000. And I might walk in here and say, I'll buy the whole thing for $5,000.
yeah. Well, I'm following you. Some of this you have to deal with when you get there.
Not required to evenly divide.
You're not required, you know, that's when it would come up if somebody's gonna pay $3,000 for it, and the other guy's only offering the half of the appraised value.
Okay. I want to go back to number 2, where you're gonna notify everybody by certified mail. What if you have objections from neighbors or that are landowners can?
To actually
Contiguous.
to do the sale of land because of number 4, you gotta do it by ordinance. They'd have time, they'd have 2 meetings to come here and fuss about it.
Okay,
It could be advisory capacity only from the people that would want to discuss it, but it would be an ordinance here and hearing.
okay, so then they can
Yes.
still come and voice their
Mhm.
complaint,
Yeah.
okay. All right. That takes care of that.
And we also discussed this morning, should it be by a sealed bid? That's how you put your offer on the land, or should it be here in the meeting, we do an auction? I don't want to become auctioneers in here.
Against law for you to be auctioneer. Which you can. Still bid.
That's how most of it's done, isn't it? Disposal. Yeah,
Unless we contract with an auction company to do it.
like good deals or somebody.
Yeah, gov deals.
The attorney
Yeah, the attorney, yeah, could do it, yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. Since it wouldn't happen so very often,
No.
probably a lot more petition for us to do it.
Last concern, do you give any favoritism to the adjoining landowners? Let's say we did sealed bids for this piece of land, landowner here got, or the land in the middle is what we own. These two both own it. Somebody comes in with a sealed bid a little bit higher than them. Do they have the option to pay that money since they're the adjacent landowners?
It's actually a very good question.
That's what there's all these scenarios you can run into, and I want us to be consistent when it comes up.
Have you looked at the way the county's got to do it? Look at that. And if you follow that, it's pretty. That might give you direction there.
Right now, I'm just asking what changes to certified mail. We'll come back with hopefully something better, but this needs to be changed.
Yeah.
So this is totally,
Well, let's go ahead and do the certified mail part, get it.
oh, you're just gonna do that section.
For now.
Okay.
Is that one?
I'll move, we accept that.
Second.
Councilmember Brian.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodfolk.
I don't
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes,
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Okay, item 6E. Council to discuss City of Perry Parks and Recreation for member to bench sponsorship program. To take any actions deemed necessary.
Sure you saw the Dolphin Hollows were starting to plant, how good they're looking. The power light, street lights will be done by Duke one day eventually. The next thing that's gonna need to be done is probably the fences. We want to have a program already in place just to keep them consistent and give businesses and citizens an opportunity to have a commemorative bench. Some similar they do in Thomasville and other.
Are they metal?
Huh?
Are they metal now?
Is this that downtown area you're talking about? or-
Park
Anywhere.
At the park, anywhere, okay.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty much that bench, a little bit bigger, black is what we were looking at.
Similar, in it,
Bill. That's
Yeah,
what it looks like.
Yeah,
that's very similar to Heritage, isn't it? That might be one in Heritage, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. Those green ones,
Yeah,
they have classes, whoever written into them somehow, if I remember right.
yeah,
Mhm.
different classes.
They're laser cut into it.
Laser belt.
Have they held up pretty
Those are,
good?
those are the best benches we got.
Okay. Cause I know some over here are starting to rust, because they are metal, and maybe they just need a good paint job, but.
Now, some of them are more flimsy and thinner gauge. 'Cause they're cheaper.
And if you're gonna powder coat it right, they'll
Now,
be good for a
these,
long time.
these would be donated by whoever, organization or person or whatever in memory of, or in recognition of.
But it doesn't be a memory of anybody, just your business or your class of 05 or whatever.
So basically what you do is you just buy a bench and
Okay,
any idea how much they are, give or take, or?
They have the prices in there.
Yeah.
20, 100, 2,200.
Very good.
2,100.
yeah. I make a motion, we accept the program.
recommendation. I second,
Councilmember Brian,
yes.
Councilmember Woodfolk.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6F, council to discuss park and plug fast chargers, site host agreement, and take any actions deemed necessary.
Well, I was in on a phone call, their contract expires with us at the end of this month. And it's been nothing but a break-even thing,
Over here?
yes,
Okay.
behind the courthouse.
Okay,
And,
Or even a little.
well, it would have lost if Duke wouldn't have then paid us money because I kept a spreadsheet monitoring what we paid. We have to pay the electric bill on it because they didn't have a meter out there already. And so I really didn't want to be a middleman on it, but that's expired and they made us even on it. And they finally got the rate of reimbursing us better where we're breaking even. But they want this phase out agreement and it's with us still paying the electric bill and all that. And I said, there's no call for that. You want it, you do your own thing there. And I just want to make sure that you folks don't want to keep going along with it because.
No, because when they presented it to us, they told us it would be at no cost to the city.
That's right.
So,
And he did, and I reminded him of that and he made even with us a year or two ago, and then it extended for another 2 years or so. Where it was at least, our cut was at least breaking even with us. But now they're gonna put the fast chargers in all those slots. And since it's your parking lot, do you want them to continue that? They would like to keep those there and they would have their meter on it.
Manage it, they do it with them. We have nothing to do with it.
And that's what I'm telling them too. I says, as far as I'm concerned, February 29th, we're shutting the meter off and they can do whatever they want with it. But I want your blessing that you want those spots.
Motion to do that.
yeah, as long as there's no cost to the citizens.
And
it'll be
the other
fine with
things
it.
in the contract, which is what I wanted you to have, but they haven't gotten back to me, But I do have a phone call, someone returned my call today, ironically enough. So, but the things I wanted out of the contract was that we had to enforce that other cars wouldn't park there. Now, I don't mind putting a sign up,
There's a state statute that covers that, so the enforcement's no issue.
but we don't wanna have to go above and beyond and, you know, I don't know what all. But there's several things in the contract that I am questioning and they haven't gotten back to me yet, so. But I'll pursue it.
So do we need to wait until you get a
I
contract?
would think so.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we'll just
But
table
anyway,
this.
we'll continue, but we're gonna disconnect it
Okay.
at the end of the month, because we're done with it.
That was an agreement that they not make us pay for that. So I think you're within your rights by doing that. But we'll wait until we get a contract.
Yeah.
We operate too much without contract.
Well, we try not to, but it's our land and their equipment, but it's for a good thing. It brings people more downtown, so.
All right, so we'll just table this till next meeting.
Mhm.
Table it.
Done. Agenda item 6G, council to discuss leave payout policy and take any actions deemed necessary.
Well, our current leave policy says as written in the manual. An employee may carry over from year to year a maximum of the amount of annual leave they accrue in 1 year plus 60 hours. Now, that hadn't been quite followed. There's several employees that have built up quite a few hours. And I don't really want to take those hours away from them, but I do want to change the policy so we don't have that big liability on our books. So my suggestion, change it to an employee may carry over from year to year a maximum of 320 hours. Anything accrued above 320 hours will be paid out annually at the employee's anniversary date.
Mhm.
That way you're getting paid out about the same rate you're accruing it. You're not building up 1,200 hours and then retire and getting paid all that out at your highest rate of pay, taking that big check from the city. This will pay out any of those hours you burned and weren't able to use at the rate you earned at.
So instead of using the lose it, you get paid for not
Oh, yeah.
at the current rate. Yeah, that makes sense.
There's a lot of employees here that almost can't take a vacation. And you're hurting them if you do that, use it or lose it.
Right.
Yes. Mhm.
So you would just, basically, you're wiping out at the end of the year or end of their term and starting over for the next.
No longer 320. Anything above that, you're getting paid out and you're going back down to 320.
Mhm.
You'd have to be here for 16 plus years to be able to accrue it to that level.
Yeah.
Anyway. So it's not.
Is this what we're talking about doing now or talking about what we're going to do in the new book?
That's what we do, starting whenever y'all make it effective. You mean,
What you've got, to discuss employee manual. Okay,
this is just one policy that I know I have an issue with, but I want to
Yeah.
get it corrected.
but why would you bring it up now and not when we're doing this? It's my question.
It's gonna take us probably 4 or 5 more weeks to get to that point in the manual, I believe. It's gonna be a slow process going through the whole
Oh, yeah, I
thing.
know.
I want to get this taken care of now.
So long, well, if we vote on it tonight, it'll take effect immediately? Okay.
Motion.
Second.
Say something.
Oh, go ahead.
I currently have right around 600 vacation hours. I've been here 7 years, but the last 3 or 4 years, we've been working tons of overtime with COVID and people being out. We haven't had the opportunity to take a vacation. I really don't want to lose 200 plus hours of vacation. I want to take it. I would like the option to at least not accrue anymore, but can I at least have the option of taking the vacation I've earned and not have the opportunity to use?
This is not vacation.
It's
Yeah,
vacation leave.
Yes,
It's
vacation.
vacation. And how many do you have?
Like around 600.
600?
So you'd rather have the time than the money.
So you want your, okay, can they do that?
We're paying out at the higher rate though.
That's what I'm concerned about.
And you
Well, I
have
don't want
damage-
him to lose his money either.
No, he gets paid that out, but the time, if he, say he doesn't take those vacation months till 5 years from now, he's gonna be getting that rate of pay for, hundreds of hours.
What he's saying is he wants to take vacation now, take it down from 600 hours down to
To the what it used to be.
300.
So you're saying basically, I'm just gonna throw a rough draft out there. You looking at, say now, say if you wanna go on a vacation now, you wanna stay out until you burn it down to the 320. That's what you're
Three
asking?
eighty-four.
I mean, or have the option to use it in the next year, or, I mean, something, but not.
What if these are there,
Stays on.
what if you put some in there about them using it over the next 2 years?
Yeah,
We just talked about that, 'cause we have some with 1,000 hours, so I don't wanna pay out 1,000 minus 320.
well, can we put a clause in there saying that they have to use it by,
I'm gonna ask Stephanie that, he's gonna have to keep up with all that.
Steph, you know if that's okay, or
Or just say this isn't gonna happen for 2 years, but
if you say that, you're gonna be back in the same boat.
I mean, if you give everybody 2 years to use up down to 320,
You be okay with that?
or,
And on that date, if I didn't, then I'd get paid the payout.
Okay.
That's fine.
I mean, is that reasonable?
Can't do
I
that.
don't know, I'm asking.
Steph says, okay,
Do you want the time off or do you want the money?
he wants the time.
You want the time?
Yes, ma'am.
And maybe over the next 2 years, just wind it, and when you get to the 2 year point, if you hadn't used it,
Well, you could say.
in 2 years it's over
Pay
with.
out or use it by this date, 2 years from now, you're gonna lose it.
That's what we
Effective
said,
date.
yeah.
Effective date
Mhm.
and ending
Right.
date.
All right.
That's what you was saying, put a clause in it.
Yeah.
Repay it. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna lose it.
Right.
And get paid.
How about just ask each employee what they want? If you
Oh,
want
gosh.
to use the time or pay it out. Cause he may be the only one who wants to use the time.
We're talking about something that is already earned.
Yes.
You can't take it away.
Mm-mm.
You could if you follow.
No, I'm talking about legally.
Yeah.
You, if you take it away, you're gonna get sued.
Be in trouble.
Would there be any problem with giving
Now
everybody
you
an
can
option?
go forward.
Would there be a problem giving like half wants the time, half wants the money, would there be any
They
problem?
don't have anybody who takes it to fill in.
that's the problem.
Hired 2 part-time guys will help with that.
Yeah.
Have we had any
What?
update on, have we had any update on anybody getting hired in the 2 slots?
No, I've got it posted, or Stephanie still got the full-time and the part-times posted. We got a couple of, I know 1 or 2 applications for the part-time.
Mm-hmm.
Full-time, we still don't have nobody actually filled out for application. I do got one that is from here that is living in Oklahoma right now. He is fire certified in Oklahoma. He goes Friday to take his challenges board from the Florida exam,
Okay,
and hopefully he passes it. He's the only applicant we got, so only one that showed any interest for full-time. Part-timers, we just still haven't really put getting them yet, so.
are we advertising? We advertising?
Yeah,
And Tallahassee Democrat, and
where are you advertising this
Flounder.
stuff?
It's not in the Democrat.
are we able
It's
to
on
do
our-
that?
It's a couple $100, but we have done that.
Okay, well, let's try that, because these guys deserve to take some time off.
Democrat.
I know
If
what it
you're the
is to
same
be,
boat.
yeah, to
I
be
know.
burnt out. You won't run a call, but just being there will burn you out. So,
I mean, Stephanie's got it posted, I
Mhm.
posted it on
I
the
seen the Facebook, yeah.
pages. The guy shares them whenever they see them, and we friends with a lot of firemen, through
mhm.
the region here, and so if word gets around, it's just.
And they
whether
call the
want to
fire
do it.
colleges.
Yes,
Well, let's try and
Well-
advertise it, because a lot of people younger ones probably would want to come to a rural county to start out. I know I would,
How many weeks you want us to advertise it? It's hundreds
It's
of
not up there,
dollars.
it's up to everybody.
That'd be HR,
It's
that'd be,
more like,
WO.
well,
Well, if the position's not being filled, you got money to advertise from.
Thank you, Jamie.
all right.
That's where part-time money's coming from.
The,
Yeah.
all right, the leave,
You don't have much there.
the leave payout policy, what do we wanna do? Cause I don't think we're gonna be able to do any one catch-all that's gonna make everybody happy.
I have
But
a suggestion. Is, on your next anniversary date, if you don't ask to extend it, so you can take the time to get paid out. Period.
So you have to do, get a
So you
request.
have to
form.
request the extension to use your pay, and if you don't, you're gonna get that pay down to 320.
And the extension's good for a year, 2 years,
Whatever the policy wants to be, you can say a year or 2 years, whatever you want it to
but
be.
no more than 2 years or
No
something.
more than 2 years.
Because we kind of got to get this reined in.
Mhm.
See, that put a lot of work on Stephanie, staff trying to keep up with all that.
Well, I know my anniversary date, I know when I started.
It's really, I
And
know
it's
the
a letter.
report, it's not that bad to look at.
It's a letter to Stephanie, or actually to the city manager requesting that extension. And if he approves it, then that's fine. If not, you get paid out.
And there's a report.
You're gonna be
it's 2 pa-
compensated
It's a
one way or
2-page
another.
report and everybody's name on it. You could just run down the line on sick and vacation.
Does each employee have a city email?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it would have been easier that way you could have emailed it out to them, but.
What if you just give everybody 2 years, figure out what they want to do, and say, we'll pay it out annually on your anniversary in 2026, every year beyond. It gives you 2 years, to figure out if you want to keep approving it, and it gets paid out in 2026, or you want to try to use it in the next 2 years.
Then you have people who want to accrue it just to get it paid out.
At the higher dollar.
It's only like 8 or 10 people.
Well, that's right. We're not talking about this.
Yeah, they didn't need the whole city.
all right, so let's summarize what we're gonna do.
I'm curious how many you think there are that want to try to use all that vacation, like we say, percentage of the city.
That's why I said ask him, because he may be the only one.
Mhm,
And, you know, he's worked, he's earned the time, he probably hasn't been able to take it off,
mhm,
so he should have the option.
mhm.
That's what I'm saying, two years, use your time, or just go ahead and sell it. Sell it back, whatever you wanna call it.
To a 2-year clause?
Other thing is if we work overtime and take vacation in the same week, we won't get paid overtime. That's one of the policies, so.
Like I said, we can't do any one thing that's gonna cover everything, there's no way,
Mhm.
there's just too many moving pieces.
And the goal here is to reduce the city's liability.
Someone encourage you to take vacation.
And encourage them to take it.
Well, it's like, the city employees opted out of sick time a while back, they were given the option to do it, right? Some were,
Not quite,
No,
right?
nope.
well, I mean, there was something in there where it changed.
Those of us that were grandfathered in had the option.
Right, well, if he's the only one, grandfather him in.
And we keep up,
You wanna,
people selecting different paths.
would there be any problem if y'all took this back and molded over for another couple of weeks and we come back in the month, the next meeting and do something with it?
We can do that.
Okay.
Try to iron some of these wrinkles out,
Okay.
sir?
We'll bounce it off the 5 or 10 employees and come back with a census of how many.
We need to get those employees together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The ones that's affected? Okay.
Yeah,
that'd be the easiest.
Mhm.
Is that okay with everybody to, okay,
this is not urgent, it's
No.
just something that needs to get done.
all right, we're gonna table that to the next, it's gonna be on the agenda, next agenda, okay. All right, agenda item 6H, council to discuss City of Perry employee manual and take any actions deemed necessary.
We talked about this before the hurricane, before we lost our counselor and all that, to go through the whole employee manual.
Well, that was the first thing you did when you got yours, you guys all up to, so staff has kind of gone through this. Now it's your turn, I guess.
Well, we haven't quite gone through it all either.
Stephanie, do a lot.
More than we all did together.
Yeah. We've gone through smaller sections, but not the whole thing.
Let's get through section 1 today. It's just the definition. Let's see how this goes. We may need to do a little workshop or two. If this doesn't go like I think it's gonna go.
How long is this thing? I guess I'm about to find out. Huh?
This long. It's this long. Oh, goodness. You got it right there.
Oh, this, oh.
Yeah, that's right.
62 pages. Oh, yeah, another section, but. That runs only 2 pages. We'll do that today, that'll be good. City, this term refers to the city of Bailey.
Welcome to legal documents.
Let's debate that. I'm kidding everybody.
Look good?
What is excluded surface? What are you talking about there? First sentence.
All right.
Somewhere that language is in the manual, Miss Landry.
Oh, there it is down below. It's down below.
There's so many changes.
Yeah.
And we went through a lot of them, combed out.
Just wanted to make sure they complement each other with the two changes.
We've tried to do that and we'll continue to do that in this process.
Yeah, let me find a better way to do this.
Mhm.
Let's find a better way to do this, like assign y'all pages 1 through 6 or something.
Yeah, sign a few pages every time.
We'll not do that.
Before you do that, how about fixing page 2? Personnel technician.
You'll get us homework.
Homework.
Huh?
Yeah, reading assignment.
We'll do a reading assignment every week.
Goodness.
Yeah, but fix page 2, personnel technician.
Where's each part?
Do that.
Sounds like
Those
that.
are archaic.
It's not really me, though.
Oh,
That's archaic.
You got rid of his positions.
For the overall supervision. of
If we go
personnel
back to
activities,
page 1, we now have a fire
Oh,
chief.
supervision.
We were, I know, but I had it marked,
Yeah.
unhighlight that. That was before we had a fire chief.
Well.
Public Works Director, strike it out. We don't
No,
have one.
Never gonna have another public works director?
no, leave it.
It's in the charter, right?
Yes.
Harvard put back. Did we change? Whatever we did to exempt and non-exempt and make it overtime, right? On the word we changed, we want to do that.
Yeah, I remember something a while back about fixing
Yeah, a
that.
couple meetings back,
You did it in this file.
I don't remember exactly what
No.
meeting, but
council approved allowing the supervisors,
Yeah, we're talking
sergeant.
first line supervisor.
Yeah,
Well, actually, I
and,
think we worded it first line supervisors. Is how we, I think how we came to that. That would be anybody that supervises in the field that does not have general, supervision of everybody in the field. Just their immediate crew.
Doesn't work. Generally, this includes permanent, full-time, and part-time employees and non-supervisory positions.
Be like
Like a crew.
Sean and
Like a crew
Jared,
leader.
superintendent.
A crew leader could be a supervisor, a sergeant for us is a supervisor, but they're first line supervisor.
I thought we had this one.
Thought we said exempt employees.
That we're defining who the exempt are.
Salary. Those are correct, too.
I'll look back how we worded it. I'll look that up, figure it out. All right, I already don't like how this is going.
So you'll send them something for next
Yeah,
time.
we'll have reading assignment. You get those 1, 2, 3.
Ah,
It's,
I'm still on page 2.
What do you want fixed, Bill?
What do you want to fix?
Personnel technician, read that, does that make sense?
I don't know who that is.
Just asking for the maintenance as described.
That's your.
Charge of overall supervision of personnel activities.
Personnel, that's her.
Yeah,
That's what they're talking
read that
about.
sentence.
But read it.
Well, personnel,
Charged with the responsibility for the overall
Overall.
supervision of personnel
Personnel
activities
activities.
by the city manager.
Basically over the city.
and I guess they
We need
used
to
to work
reword
under the city
that.
manager, not finance
It's
director.
Stephanie, but it needs to be
You appointed in there?
reworded.
Huh?
Don't you need appointed? Between activities and by?
That would help.
I see, I mean, personnel technician is,
HR,
yeah, so I'm saying human resources.
and we don't call it that anymore. We call it human resources now, so that
Yeah.
term is technically.
But if you can say it sounds like, well, when I read it, it sounded like they're overhead. versus-
Uh-huh.
Being over that, yeah.
Yeah, I think. if you
And
say-
actually now it's under finance, so
Yeah,
it got moved.
but even, yeah, I see those.
I recommend that y'all take one section at a time and bring it back for our approval.
We'll do it that way.
Well, yeah, because in order to speak intelligently on it, you only do the same pages.
I need y'all, I'll tell y'all which ones we're gonna go
Mr.
over.
Bill has already went through the whole book, you know.
Bill lived and breathed this thing. This is gonna be-
That's why I say he done already went
Him
through
and
the whole.
Don
Wasn't that
So you would know.
Already
He's taking his
learned from decades ago.
Yeah, well, Yeah, this hasn't been changed since forever.
Well, it needs change. Like she said, the term for the
It's archaic.
position has changed, you know, so,
So you can change that to human resource.
Absolutely,
yes.
Nobody's called personnel technician.
right.
That's it. What? I used to get.
Personnel technician.
It's human
Part
resources.
of this
Is that strike three?
is law,
Yep.
and we won't be changing any of that, so.
Human resource.
That's what's our technician.
Technicians.
Thank you.
But that's a salary change, though. That's different.
It makes you
insurance.
feel important.
Is that all you had?
As far as I got.
Gotta go back and do this 2-week reading assignment and get back with you.
All right, we'll do something different next.
Okay,
Thank you.
agenda item 6I, no, we already done that. 6I, approval of minutes, January 23rd, 2024, regular session. Anybody have a discussion about the minutes? I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept
Second order discussion.
on the minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What page?
Look at, well, page 2. That's not something that should be discussed in a public meeting.
What is it?
Which item?
Oh, I'm sorry, 6A.
Oh, okay.
6A.
It's
Yeah.
not something what?
That should be discussed in a public meeting. You may think that, but don't make that accusation, or we'll be in trouble.
Oh,
So I'm saying that,
the second sentence.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, as to
Yeah,
the
strike that
agenda, anybody can have something put on the agenda,
Mhm.
but as it says, repeat, no, that's not good.
No.
But there are ways to take care of that when and if it happens.
Well, we do allow cutting off. We tell them they only got.
I know,
5
I say
minutes.
that's, you don't put it in a minute, I mean, in a public meeting, you don't state all of that.
Well, if they get up and speak under general, not general business, but,
Yeah. if they're-
When the public gets up and speaks, you got 5 or
They've
10
got
minutes.
5 minutes.
But if you agenda, there is no time limit, as far as I know.
It's
Well,
not.
there
We
is,
can- we can
you know, if it keeps going round and around and around, then
Well, after the fourth time you heard
Well,
something, it's
that's
time to
what
call it
he-
everywhere.
That's what he's saying.
you can, or we can,
Right.
you know. Oh,
So wait a minute now. What are you striking out of that?
I'm not tracking any.
What are you
I'm not
recommending? What
tracking
we
minutes.
Mm-mm.
Just
Being
I'm just
mindful.
saying that we need to be more careful
The wording person, that's what he's saying.
discussing,
Yeah.
making an accusation like that in a
Okay.
public meeting, is all I'm saying.
So you're gonna leave it in there?
Yes, yeah, got to, don't want to change it. I'm on item 6F. Last sentence, the council is supportive of this approach. And council and city staff also discussed the possibility of adding a floater position. And then go on down and it finally says consideration to fund the additional position, period. Well, what we actually said was, or what was said was that it just was not a feasible way to do something like that. Adding, part-time.
Plus a floater. Is that what you're saying?
No, period.
Not add a floater?
Right.
Okay,
But it was determined this position is not feasible.
okay. So you're gonna change the minutes this time?
I would offer to. We need a conclusion on some of these things.
Yes, always,
That's.
always.
that's
What
I'm
action
saying.
was taken or not taken?
Yeah.
So in the minutes, capture the conclusion. If there is one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's,
Well, she did capture it. She just didn't capture it the way you're saying. She said,
You gotta have
with
conclusion.
considerations about how to fund additional. The supportive of the approach. Discuss the possibility of a floater. With considerations about how to fund it.
the conclusion is it was determined this was not feasible
Okay,
in the water,
okay.
wastewater.
Oh, in the waste, oh, okay.
I'm on, the next page. In the middle. Miss Stephanie indicated that the money may have been spent or transferred. And she provides further details. Doesn't make sense either.
Where you at?
Middle of page, 4.
again with CD. There for the problem.
and the question was been about the CD.
Yeah, it just, well. That doesn't make sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to me, believe me, it's bad. Because see, I was way before my time. When I was doing whatever writing, I was texting way back then. However you fix that. Now, I'm at the next council member Hampton, and I wish she was here because I need her help on this one. We have discussed striping, and we have gotten nowhere except to discuss it. And if I can get a second. And a roll call vote. I'm making a motion that we begin the bid process to do striping in the downtown area.
What?
Where it?
Down-
Right in here.
Have,
We're putting new trees up and
Mhm.
we're gonna talk about benches. You can't see with.
What,
Yeah.
You're talking about the downtown business district proper?
Yeah.
you talking about
Like
like the
CRA.
CRA area, yeah.
Yeah,
Have we got
Way
money
to
in the
do-
budget?
yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
for
Well,
striking?
We will, it will take a budget amendment. We will get to the budget amendment.
yeah,
Well,
we
there's
also have
just-
some CRA funds.
I was about to say, wasn't there CRA money discussed for that? Just-
Yeah, but, I don't know how much it's gonna take to, do what you're doing with the trees and all that stuff.
It was $2,000.
But, we've got the, local option gas tax can be used.
Since it's
The
roads.
streetscape.
All we need is a second and a roll call vote instructing them to do it. Bring it back.
But that's not in the minutes though, right? That's.
It's
we should do
separate.
that
Oh,
first.
The minute
No,
of it
she
is in the
says
minutes.
specifically mentioning the need for striping in certain
Well,
areas.
absolutely, and too bad.
So-
you don't.
But
So you're making a motion, we go ahead and get moving on
we
it.
do it. We've been talking since a year.
All right, you made the motion.
I'll
You
second.
made the motion.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
second it. Let's get the striping done.
Process bid.
We're about to,
I got the note.
How long was striping last?
Yeah, I don't know.
who knows?
Quality,
Exactly.
depends on the quality of the drop.
Yeah.
Apparently, because some of that stuff's fresh and then it wears off 3 years later.
Mhm.
What's the bad?
Well, they gotta use the right kind of paper.
We got a motion in a second.
We need to talk to DOT about quality. For a bid.
If you wanna go ahead and do a roll call, we'll.
We need to do the
Okay,
approval.
we need to finish the
Minutes.
minutes first,
Yeah.
because we had a motion and a second,
So you were correcting the
and
minutes.
then we got another motion on the table.
Now, we had a motion and a second for discussion, and I'm discussing it.
That's true.
However you wanna do it, doesn't matter.
What was that the minute for?
Okay,
Yeah,
we do. Well, okay, but on,
Good catch.
He's not through discussing.
didn't
page
think so.
8.
There are no page numbers. Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
that's-
Okay.
that's the
All right.
See, we're at 6,800.
Yes.
That should be 6 to 800.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me a few times. 45, 45, 45.
Okay.
That all you have for the agenda, or you have some more?
No,
Okay.
I'll catch it up later.
Have a motion, a second to
Approve the minutes.
approve the
Now, hang
agenda.
on a second, because there's that one sentence about the CD that we don't know what the verbiage is to correct it.
Oh, wow.
We don't use CDs anymore. We've gone to streaming.
From Treasury Management. What do you want, what do you think it's trying to say, Bill? Because it's, look, man, you're
Yeah.
saying we done the CD yet? I said, no, we're holding off on it.
That
in
indicates
case you have to
that
spend it
money
for-
may have been spent.
Repairs.
Where, have you read these minutes? Has anybody read these minutes?
I have, and I have one I want to correct too.
Does this make sense? If you wrote them, reading them is waste of time.
But she did have two people prove
You
it,
got,
they're not
you
used to
got
these
plenty of
meetings
people
either.
that could read them.
Let me prove it next time.
It's very hard when it goes from a motion and then a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Let me prove them because
Well,
I've been doing this.
Just read that.
Read me the
Page
sentence.
4.
Yeah, what does it say?
CD, certificate of deposit. Okay, now go down where it says, Mrs. Stephanie indicated that the money may have been spent or transferred, and she provide further details.
And what was the question?
Does that make sense to you?
No,
Okay. That's the
because it
question.
doesn't sound, because I'm thinking it was, the only question I remember y'all asking me, and it was probably you. Have you got the CD yet?
No.
If you got the minute,
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
What's the sentence that precedes that?
it's almost a vodka, and CD is vodka.
Something in water revenue.
The
Oh,
question,
it was some kind of, yeah, that's,
Something about why the water go down in cash balance. You asked for that.
yeah.
yeah, water utility fund, CDFICA cap. Started out 780, went down to 540. Where'd the 240 go?
It got spent in the expenses for the year
Why?
because we bought stuff.
We'll come back to that.
I mean,
But if that doesn't make sense, fix it.
that's what. you
It may have,
said.
she may have said it will provide
She will provide.
details at the
yeah.
next meeting.
It's grammatically incorrect.
And I don't know,
Fine, so-
yeah, I don't know what it's
I think it's
for,
just will.
and
Like will provide future or information.
And FICA is not Federal Insurance Contribution Act. That is the name of that
Yeah.
savings account, so
Yeah.
that's wrong.
Details will be provided.
Just table it.
Let's just table it to the free
When
written.
can we expect those
Correct it.
details?
Next.
I'll try to come up with something on that, but maybe I wasn't really, it still don't understand what Bill's asking.
Whatever it means.
Does that make sense? And you said no. And I said, does that make sense? You said no.
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
Then fix it.
okay, she's saying Ms. Stephanie indicated that the money may have been spent
Mhm.
or transferred.
And that's why there's a discrepancy in that bank account from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. That's normal. So I don't really understand your question apparently.
Well, and that you would provide details. We need details on when it was spent
Okay.
or transferred, where it came from, where it
It's
went.
in the
that sort of thing.
detail, and
That's the
there could be
details.
1,000 purchases made. But
But the,
He was asking about, I think, the sentence structure.
It has nothing to do with what actually happened. This, what did we talk about in the meeting?
Yeah, the agenda.
He's just saying the way it's worded.
If you ever go back and listen to the recording, it's not the greatest.
sometimes you guys say it funny and so do we, yeah.
forget.
That's why I had them listen to it too,
Just-
because I can't understand.
Table approval of these minutes to the next meeting,
Exactly.
and we'll get that part straightened out.
Did you get council
Oh, okay.
members?
You don't need to table it, just, second, motion second, roll call to approve as amended.
We ain't amended it yet. We don't know what it said, what the
And I
right.
think that was your question, because I remember looking at my notes the day after the meeting, so you should try to do the stuff the next day while it's fresh. And I kind of remember saying to myself, I don't know what he's talking about. And that's why I said in the meeting that the money has been spent through the course of a year. You have money in your bank account. And over the course of 12 months, it changes.
Forget all that. It doesn't make sense, that sentence.
He's
We
just
agree,
wanting-
we all agree with
I
it.
just seems like the sentence structure.
Yes, that's
I
it.
think that's the way you said it. I mean, if they play it back, you might. think
I-
That's the way it came.
I'm
out.
not talking, no,
The way he said it.
you're indicating. You're missing the whole,
That money may have been spent or transferred.
you can
And then
just,
she
and
provides,
you
for-
could,
and she will provide.
you can do it that way, or you could put a period after
We
transfer.
could put the word will there. She will, meaning me, will provide.
Okay.
She will. There you go, Christie.
Okay, so we're gonna
Thank you.
go back, mark the minutes up, change them, and
Ms. Woodball had something.
Okay, we got page 8, the second paragraph. It's just the wording. It asked that, when I asked about the splash pad, I just asked that it had been put on the back burner, but it said, in wording is saying that I asked for it to be put on back burner. So we just need to change the wording. That's it. Mm,
I don't think he said that.
no.
What are you changing? I missed it. I had to find it first.
Page 8,
Yeah,
where it says, she asked for it to be put on the back burner.
yeah.
She didn't ask for it to be put on the back burner. I think he was told.
I was asking, was it put on the back burner?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we haven't been discussing it anymore. Wanting to see where we were at on it.
Oh, no, you didn't want it to be put. You
No,
asked-
ma'am.
Had it been put, okay.
Yeah.
Just a
The other way
word
around,
thing.
yeah.
Yes.
See, I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you, those minutes are some of the most thorough minutes.
Yeah, sometimes when you hear those recordings,
Yes. Mhm.
I'm used to doing
Very
a word
thorough.
for word, where I come from in Charlotte County, you do them verbatim. It is word.
Gotcha.
Like a
You don't
definition.
summarize it,
Wow.
do it word for word.
that's too much.
Yeah.
Too much, if they.
You know, when you're summarizing other people's words and, you know, the speaker in here is not very great, I'll tell you that. So
That one, I'm
people
talking-
sound muffled.
that's not,
That would be me.
I get them.
that's just somebody proofing
Yeah,
what you type.
I understand.
And you can't do it. Somebody else has got to do
Right.
She did have a proof, but they don't know anything about meetings, Danielle and Stephanie. So let me proof them
Sure,
because
not a problem.
And I'm also-
You can prove them.
The more clear and
Yeah.
the less interruptive
you
comments
haven't been
are.
sitting in these things.
Okay.
This is a great example of what I'm talking about. The clearer statements are made without interruptions, the clearer you can hear and rightfully decipher what's being said.
Correct.
So I was just using that as an example, because we all easily talk over each other.
And we have this tendency to have 3 conversations going at once. So,
So actually, I think we all have all the corrections now, because if you put the word will in my thing, and then I'll come back next week with a printout of that bank account,
We
with the money.
can move forward with approving the minutes. We can move forward with approving the minutes as amended.
No major change. Yes.
Councilmember Woodhull,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes,
Mayor Ketchum.
yes. Item 7, city staff. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. FEMA's making me crazy, but, and I know our supervisors are sick and tired of showing them damage, sometimes 3 or 4 times. These 2 will pass. And we're gonna start, getting some bids collected for roofing and fencing repairs.
Look.
Yeah, I know.
Ms. Dents,
I have nothing to share for this meeting.
Chief? Chief,
I'm good.
Stephanie, anyone?
We got some more deodorizer in for Warner. I talked to my guys and verified they have been putting cherry deodorizer in it probably once every month or 2, and apparently it's not working. So I got some stuff in the mail yesterday. They applied it today. We're gonna see how it works. It may. The stuff I bought was fairly cheap, you know, the guy swears to me it'll work, and he's not gonna charge me to we see how it works, but. It may, I think the smell is coming from Super Puffed. So we may have to do something at their lift station if it continues. But, we are, and we have been working on it, and I've talked to several people, 2 in particular in the neighborhood that, you know, explain about the smell. So spread the word, we're trying. And,
You're speaking on the lift station.
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Correct.
we call it Warner Lift Station,
Yeah.
it's Thomas Dent's Warner,
Gotcha.
which was painted also, by the way.
Yes, thank you for
Well,
that.
that was Garrett.
Thank you.
Anyone else? City council? Ms. Landry?
Me, it occurred to me, we had all this work done in here, but we don't have any new microphones.
Microphone work, don't have speakers. I think the microphone work, don't have a speaker to test the microphone with. Gotta get some new speakers.
Okay, so we need new speakers.
Probably a new.
We've been
Did the
talking about
amplifier,
that
did the
over
amplifier
years.
survive?
We haven't tested, we don't have any speakers, so
Why wasn't that the turnkey?
it should have been part of the turnkey.
Mhm.
Maybe not new speakers, take it out of the, what was in the back.
Try to remember. So we are facilities managers and buy speakers.
He doesn't know.
If you wanna test things, I got a speaker you can plug in.
It really isn't the speaker, the problem is running the power and
Yeah.
the wire and all that, and where you gonna do it.
I mean, just to test it, see what,
Just to make sure the amps work.
yeah. That ant's been there a day or two.
I turned it on and came on anytime.
The output, we gotta check it.
Anyway,
I want to compliment the Public Works Department. I'm sorry, Danielle's not here. City manager and whoever else had a hand in planting the trees. They look really nice. See-
That's Gary.
That's you. And, seen a lot of compliments, nice comments about it on Facebook. And, I'm sure some people are gonna have a negative thing to say, but overall, they look wonderful.
He worries himself to death about that, but he wants it to be good. So-
About the negative comments?
No, about just making sure he's doing a good job.
He is
Oh,
doing a good
did a
job.
great
I've seen A
job.
lot of changes.
And you did it on Sunday or whatever, over the weekend, when there wasn't a lot of traffic to, when the shops were closed and y'all did a great job.
Mhm.
anyway,
don't have any problems.
It's nasty doing that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I wasn't here last week. I was on vacation, so.
Brian. Mr. Brown, do you have anything?
I do have a few things. Back to our striping.
Yes.
Do we need to start that over?
Oh, yeah, I've got a note here to, tell Danielle, because that's her area.
Bill, I think probably just direction from the council now to go ahead and get the bids together and bring it back to,
Well, that's,
is what you really
yeah,
want.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
really have to have a motion for that, or?
We've been talking for years
I agree.
and
We said we wanted to do it.
we said, the paper made fun of us,
Yes.
Sure did.
rightfully so. So however you want to do it.
We have our motion and Ms. Landry seconded, so we'll just do roll call.
Why not?
Mhm.
Councilmember Brian.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodfall.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry
Yes.
and Mayor Kettering.
Yes.
Okay, now. Resurfacing streets,
Mhm.
same thing, we've talked, but we've never actually jumped in and done it, and my motion is. Let's get bid documents together and bid out resurfacing.
Do you have a list of streets? No. Tell Danielle.
John, please.
We have a
make
motion.
sure-
And we have a motion.
Second.
Hold on, before we.
Okay, for
before-
discussion.
Please make sure, I'm putting emphasis on this. 12 Point and LaCour is on there, please.
Yeah, they are on there, aren't they?
I done got 7 phone calls.
Well, point. That's Judson.
Yeah, just.
I know that.
Yeah, it's,
Got the cooler at number 23.
Okay.
Are these in order of?
These are in order
For
of
four
conditions
minutes, yeah.
and traffic order.
What's wrong with Stevens?
The last time, and it's been a while, Stevens was done. The contractor went in, took it all out, put it back, and paved it, and it's still,
Like a washroom.
You start with Stevens, that's gonna be $1 million on about so.
I would not.
I would not start with
Stevens.
Stevens. I would
Yeah,
start
let's,
with,
let's come up with a dollar amount and or numbers of street.
well, he's got a dollar amount up there, it's 212.
Well, I mean, on what we want to spend and when you do this.
I would at least,
Do $1 million?
a million, and then we can.
If we
You
have
can
that.
email that to us.
Yeah, right, we can go up and down from there.
That's a non-DOT approximate cost.
Right. I mean, if you could email it to us, that'd be good.
That was. What'd we do?
So now it's the.
Well, we have a motion, but I didn't hear it a second.
Ms. Landry.
And the dollar amount to add in, there's 1 million on it.
Yeah.
So we can.
Approximate.
What is number 14, John? There's no name. Okay, it wasn't on the other
Park.
list.
Yeah,
That's the trailer one.
Okay, Councilmember Bruns.
yes,
Councilmember Woodhull.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ketchering.
Yes.
okay. Back to that,
Cherry, good, cherry. North Cherry.
the water utility fund started out October 1 in this CD, $780,000. It ended the year at $540,000. So somewhere $240,000 was taken from the CD.
Yeah,
Either the CD matured and you took out, or you took out and paid the penalty
no, there's
and
no,
lost the
those
interest.
don't have penalties on them. Those aren't like that.
Okay,
But that one, I think, I moved that to make wastewater mortgage payments.
why would you take it from a CD when you've got over $1 million in operating account?
Because it went to wastewater. I think.
So that's just pure out and not good business. And
It might not. be
I don't know why
anything
John's not screaming about it, or John doesn't know why it was done. If I had a CD with almost $1 million in it, and I took $240,000 out, I can darn sure tell you anytime you ask what it went for and why I did it.
I'll have to look it up.
It's just poor management.
It might have been all that was available at the time, John.
I'm looking at a checking account with $1 million in it, $1.5 million, $1.9 million. That don't fly. But now, let me tell you a story, and this is serious. You know, we all need to be, and I'm looking at my man now. Sunday morning, well, I was at the Hardee's.
You love Hardin's.
Drink coffee.
Even on
Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Chris called me and said, the heat won't work. Chris, I said, what am I supposed to do about it?
Chris Bruns.
So I go home and I turn the heat on, gas heat, natural gas. And it comes on and it runs wide open because we got a hole big as this room in our house. And then boom, shuts off. Wait a few minutes. And I turn it back on, takes off, run wide open. Boom. You know, deal with it Monday. I go outside and I look at my roof. The vent for the gas heater is there. and a piece of that blue tarp had blown over it. And that's a good way to wake up dead.
Sure is.
Yeah. You remember with Dodd Franklin? That's what happened to him. Uh,
People beware.
God fix that.
Okay, I'm through. Did we find out about what we need to do with this Duke Energy junk that they're leaving?
Talking about it, they said they've been going around picking up all their stuff.
Some of it could be cable too. We still got cable lines
Yeah, I got.
hanging in trees and hanging on the ground and,
Insulator, you name it.
yeah.
There's another layer of lines, it's called MetroNet, that's bigger than regular coax. That's part of that too, that's consolidated,
right.
so.
These
There's a mix
are
of-
just parts that you hit with a lawnmower.
Mhm.
I will take it to their front door.
And we call them case by case, so.
Yeah. No, I do have one more thing. Sure, and our CDBG that we applied for. And apparently we didn't get,
We didn't apply for it. It never.
oh, didn't even apply for it. We need to they either need to get on the stick or we need to find a different
What,
group.
what that was about was the water well
Yeah,
land, and we were hoping and thinking we could purchase. God, back then it's been like a year now, we've been trying to find a spot, but the engineers take forever to get their hydrologist out there. And but they're making progress, but we've missed 2 cycles, I know. And Fred even emailed us, but
well, we need to change our,
yes, we can.
did you see what the county's doing? If anybody looked at that?
For the grant writer?
No. No, no. I imagine it's the same people we've talked to. In the past, a CDBG was an area. And you had income and certain criteria for 5 blocks or 10 blocks. The county has applied and they've gone through their invitation to bid. The first location of the project, these are all housing, is Greenville, Florida. That's the address. Smith Road, Kelly Grade, Red Paget Road, Schoolhouse Road. So apparently now you can, and I know in this city, we can find 4 or 5 or whatever houses that need to be rehabbed. And not be in a 6-block area. That's something we need to find out.
And that's a second, there's 2, they'll tell you there's 2 types of CDBGs, and one of them is strictly for housing. And then the other one is for, they're separate though.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Yeah, but that's not the point. My point is, one of these, well, they're all scattered over the whole county, not in a,
One area.
one area or 6 blocks or something like that. So we need to get them to come up and talk to us about that.
Yeah, Greenville's Greenville address is probably Shady Grove.
Yeah, it is.
Just
It's
inside
the
the line.
address, it's in
Yeah.
Taylor County.
Yeah, because
So,
a lot of the addresses, like the front room is
yeah,
Perry,
Right.
and the back is Greenville.
apparently the way to do this now has changed. And we need to find out. They need to come here and talk to us.
Yes.
Or somebody, I don't, doesn't
I
matter.
mean, they can handle that too, it's just and then figure out how to
Yeah,
pick the houses and all that stuff.
yeah, that's.
But I agree, we need to either change our focus on
Yeah,
what we're gonna use the CDBG on, and I'm not talking the housing thing,
yeah,
because it's a separate wing, if you
Right.
will. And on the other 3 categories, because there's 4 categories.
Yeah.
And, they came up here and gave you that spiel a year ago,
mhm.
and it's just, we haven't obtained the land for that.
Well, we
Other
need to
needed-
get off the well.
Well, then we need
Yeah.
to
something else,
Do something else.
you know, agree with you.
Don't know what, but do something else. We got grants coming, it's just,
Oh, yeah, the only thing I have, I didn't even think to ask about it, but Councilmember Brian's reminded me, we got several power poles that everything's been cut loose from, that's just hanging up, just sticking up out of the ground. Some of them are kind of hanging, they're all over the place. They had to cut them off and
Mhm.
move, wires to the bit taller ones and leave the bottom ones for the cable, and then the cable came back and attached here to the new poles, and they're just sort of
Right.
hanging around. There used to be one kind of sticking out over 19 close to Burger King. I don't know if it's still there or not. Get used to things, you don't notice them anymore.
They're just not doing a good job.
But the cable system, I think that's where most all that wire's coming from. I think it's sold coax and all, but it's still. I know a lot of areas are still hanging in trees, and some of the limbs are starting to break and the cable's going to the ground, and I don't know if there's anything we can do about it or not. I mean, they fell under state jurisdiction. I didn't even know about that until you pointed it out to me, but anyway,
locations, if you get locations, then Danielle can do a little bit more, contacting the right utility
yeah,
for figure out what kind of wire it is, and then she can get on
Yeah.
about it. But if you see them, text her, text me, text.
it's not power lines. It's definitely low
If you
voltage.
see one of them stand there, go like, oh yeah, by this address, then we can deal with it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying about the poles. So
But
anyway,
unfortunately, we have to point out to them, because apparently they
Well-
can't see it either.
yeah,
If you go to a power pole, all the power poles should have a tag on, a number on them.
right. Should have,
If
that's
y'all
right.
see them, get the number off the power pole. Somebody can call to for whoever.
Roger that. Anything else? Anyone? Have a good evening. Did they can hear that? Almost, the first time they put that up, they're almost did. I went, no, it's like, that's not it.
That wouldn't have been good.
Only maybe it would have been.
Yes, after the article about the paving. Oh, good. I got so many phone calls about that. Just to.